I wanted to dive right in and share with you. This is highlighted in red. This is the track bar itself that is highlighted. I wanted to highlight steering and front end components because I get a lot of questions about death wobble that come in, about upgrading your steering. So what I wanted to do for today, we're not going to go super in depth into death wobble or upgrading your steering components. I wanted to show you where and what the front end components are that we talk about with upgraded steering and death wobble, so you can see them, their location, what they look like, since they are talked about a lot. Do keep in mind, this is not a stock vehicle with stock steering. However, these upgraded aftermarket steering components on the front end that were upgraded just are upgrading the stock parts and pieces. So though your track bar is not going to look like this track bar, your tie rod is not going to look like this tie rod, it is still in the same location. The difference in the look is actually going to be the thickness of the tubing, material of the tubing. So it's still going to be the same location. It's just going to look a little bit different. Highlighted in yellow in these photos is your sway bar links. So when we talk about disconnecting your sway bar, this is what we are disconnecting, is our sway bar links. So highlighted here, you can see both the driver and passenger side, highlighted in yellow. That's why I'm making myself small down here in the corner for you. I want to try to make the picture as big as possible so it's as easy for you to see what I'm talking about and the locations. So standing, looking at the front of your vehicle, this is at a little bit of an angle, the way I was standing, but you can still see the location for your driver and passenger side sway bar links. This is, again, what you're going to disconnect when we talk about sway bars, but you can see that what the upgraded sway bar links look like and where the location is at. Then we're going to continue. This is your Pitman arm. Again, it's highlighted in yellow, kind of up in the corner. That is when we're talking about steering and steering components. When people start talking about checking everything, if you start to feel like you're getting death wobble, you're going to hear these talked about a lot. So that is the actual location of your Pitman arm underneath your Jeep. Whether you have upgraded steering components or not, this is something you're going to have. And then we're going to jump and look at our next part is our drag link. So I have the drag link highlighted in red. That way it's easier to see and contrast. Again, the yellow highlighting is a little difficult with the components, but so you will see the drag link is highlighted in red. And you're also going to see that the drag link is what goes up to your Pitman arm. So they're working together. So you have your Pitman arm, you have your drag link. Again, this is all when we're talking about underneath, looking at your Jeep and your steering components and setup. I just wanted to share where everything was located and what it looks like for you amazing ladies today. Then we're going to talk tie rod. You probably hear this a lot. So the tie rod is going to be like the lowest bar that is running from tire to tire. Basically, it's running straight across. It's not going up at an angle. It's not behind your other components. It is that long bar that is in the front. That is your tie rod. So we kind of just went over looking underneath the Jeep, the different parts and pieces, especially as we are talking about steering components specifically. Then you have your upper control arm. Again, that's highlighted in red for you, so you can see where that is located. The upper control arm, when we start talking about building our Jeep, you hear me talk a lot about making sure you have adjustable control arms. This would be an example, your upper control arm. So you would want adjustable upper and lower control arms on your Jeep when you're doing your build. My suggestion. It's a little off subject, but while we are under here and you have a good view and look at actually underneath your Jeep, you can see where that upper control arm is and where it is underneath your Jeep. So I wanted to share all of this with you today, just so you could see the location of your parts, the location of where they're located, so that as we are talking about death wobble, as we are talking trivia, you can see where everything is, where it's located. So if somebody's talking to you and they're like, oh, have you checked your track bar, drag link, tie rod, you know where everything is located.